Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, race fans here at RaceSpotTV. We are back. It's a new year. Still the same Monday Night Skippys though, with Rachel, Linus and Connery here, and we've got a race for you tonight. Starting in just a few moments' time, it is Brands Hatch Indy. Normally it's fireworks for New Year's Eve, Connery, but, well, today the fireworks are on New Year's Day, as I think we have roughly, 47 cars to tackle a 50-second lap.
Yep, exactly. This is the shortest track on the calendar, and I think the shortest track that Skip Uppers ever go to, even shorter than, of course, Lime Rock Park and Suzuka East, which we had last week. But this is going to be absolutely insane. 47 cars around, as you said, 50-second lap times. It's just going to be bumper-to-bumper action when these cars don't actually have bumpers, but let's just forget about that.
Well, there is that small niggling concern. Linus, take us through our... Well, I'll do it actually, why not? Ben Daniels qualifies on pole position, first time in a while for him. Freeman Tonight, second place. Bill Fraser and Mark Mercer, third and fourth. Tom Ward, Simon Edwards, Stuart McFadden, Ryan Walker, Paul Thurston and Peter Cowan, your top 10. Rest of those positions on your screen as we go. And Linus, this track is tiny.
Yeah, it's really tiny and it's almost constant turning, so this is one of very few tracks where we probably won't see any sort of draft or slipstreaming whatsoever. Getting a good start here is going to be crucial because you don't want to lose positions going up into Druids on the first lap because that can cost you a lot.
It's going to be a manic race indeed as we get ready for the flag here at Lime Rock Park. And hello if you're joining us here in 2018. Yep, the world hasn't ended this time. We're still good. The Mayans may have got it wrong like the other few times they did. Someone's probably got a prediction about 2018, but my prediction is this race is going to be absolutely insane. The engines rev. Ben Daniels on the pole, first time this season. And we are go. A 1 second bracket in qualifying, by the way, Connery was 29th position. All the cars within 1 second of the pole. That is a very tight grid as, Daniels gets tipped already from the lead. Off into the grass he goes. Round the outside goes Tom Ward. Bill Fraser to lead with Mark Mercer. It's 3 wide for your lead into Druids. I think they need some magical help to get this one alive. As Bill Fraser still on the inside with Mark Mercer on his outside here, running down towards Surtees. It's not Surtees, that is Graham Hill Bend, as I keep mistaking my ends of the Indy track, which we'll of course have done by the end of the race. Up we go through Surtees there, and now up towards the end of your lap as Mark Mercer and Tom Ward leap up from the 4th and 5th position to 1st and 2nd inside a lap.
Yeah, relatively clean first lap, apart from that little bit of an instant coming into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Mark Mercer will lead the field as he heads his way across the line on towards the entry to Paddock Hill Bend for the second time now, and they will all stay line astern behind. Here comes Bill Fraser looking for the opportunity over Tom Ward ahead of him. We'll just have to follow him on exit there. Battling further behind though, this is Paul Thurston, Matthew Willett. Thurston qualified inside the top 10, battling to stay inside the top 10 here as he tries to hold it down the inside of Matthew Willett there, but Willett will have the momentum on the outside and will defend the
He certainly will. It's still very busy back there behind Paul Thurston. Daryl Taylor, Linus, the 22 car, fighting to hold off Matt Cox and Sarah Savage here. But Savage working her way up the outside there towards Surtees, gets the position and will make it through.
Yeah, nice clean pass there by Savage, and Taylor's got his hands full here trying to get it back as we've got a crash behind him. There's a car in the grass.
There is. We're going to have a quick look to see who that was. Crash behind him.
Jack Hobbs.
Yeah, Jack Hobbs having an issue, and we'll see. He's very slow down the front stretch there. We'll see if we can find out what happened to him. And it was basically a solo incident where he locked up and braked to avoid a car crashing, dodged him, and then went into the grass. So there should be, well, there's no damage to his car. It's just he's incredibly slow and losing spots. Not a big deal. Back to life. And huge crash there. And I think that wasn't Thurston, that was Daryl Taylor, I think, was involved in that, wasn't it?
44 as well. 44 David Hardwick as well. Big incident coming out of Paddock Hill Bend there. And, well, there was a little bit of an altercation. Matthew Forrest in the 43 was slow coming through Paddock Hill Bend and just come right in the front of David Hardwick. And Hardwick was hard into the wall with the car on his front end.
It really was. That was absolutely massive as we'll get back towards the sharp end of this. And Mark Mercer still leading from Tom Ward, Linus, who's desperate to try and get a position. Ward having to look after Bill Fraser behind him as well here, and behind them McFadden and Antonides, and Edwards still very much in this one.
Yeah, he certainly is, and Tom Ward still looking for his first win of the season as well. We're not used to seeing him go this many races, I almost said, but it's only been 2 races without a win, but usually see him winning early, and he'll desperately be looking for a win here. as Mercer is still ahead in the lead.
Certainly is, and Mark Mercer doing what he can for the moment. Tom Ward haunting this one though, but Bill Fraser will be the odd man out here, the interesting party who could do something very exciting with this. And Connery, Bill has had a win recently, first time in a long time for him, and his blood is up for more.
Yep, exactly. No win so far this season, of course. Adcock and Mercer taking those positions, but Bill Fraser, definitely one of the more aggressive drivers on the grid. So they tried to go two wide coming through Paddock Hill Bend. Ward will get the run off the corner. Will make it side by side for the race lead. Coming up into Druids. Mark Mercer having to defend on the inside here. Tom Ward thought about the cutback move coming through there. Here comes Bill Fraser as well, sensing opportunity over your 5-time champion ahead of him. But it's still Mercer, Ward, and Bill Fraser, P1, 2, 3.
They certainly are, and we keep ourselves going here. Tom Ward very desperate for that first position. He wants to get through very quickly, as this is very, very crazy racing. We're seeing Paul Thurston back there in the 10th spot. Looks to be holding on for now as he slides a bit coming through the final corner. Holds onto it. He's got Matthew Willett ahead of him. Matt Cox behind him, along with Savage and McRitchie. Top 10 very smooth actually up ahead. Everyone's single file at the moment, Linus, doing exactly what they need to do. In fact, the whole field seems to have really singled out at the moment. No big pack racing happening. We've got a big group towards 27th and back, but actually we do have a good grouping there. We have Christian Novak and Jack Hobbs racing hard down there. 361 of Hobbs just got past Novak, and up into Druids they'll come. Racing behind them as well, that's Morris, Townsend and McGovern. More actual active racing down here in the bottom end of your top 30 than there is in the front.
Yep, it really is. Chris Morris made the position there over Carl Townsend, so in fact getting back up into P number 29 because he did lose that position. But Townsend's going to come back on the inside for turn number 4 now. Surtees going to the left-hander as he tries to get his way through there. Morris has to go onto the grass a little bit, side by side up in towards clearways now, and Morris will still hold the position, but Townsend will have the run off the corner. Cut back move coming down the pit straight across the start finish line.
Good move there as we look back towards the sharp end here. Ward is still the second.
Number 8.
Antonidas.
Yeah, he's having major issues. In fact, that was a huge incident coming out of Paddock Hill Bend's solo car incident. No one helped him with that one at all. Got himself all over the curb, got himself to slide before he even hit the curb as well.
Huge
and that is heavy impact with the tyre barrier.
Oh, flipping himself up and over. Antonidas in a very big pickle with that one, as they get themselves going once again and try and do their best to, well, I think he'll be shaking some sand out of his teeth back in pit road before he gets going here, as Tom Ward about to have another look here at the car of Mark Mercer, but still the car seemed to find his way past. He was scored ahead once at the front straight leaders, but he never actually got past the car of Mercer, and still seems to be struggling to do so, as here comes McFadden taking a look at Bill Fraser.
Yeah, Mark Mercer is keeping his good season going here, doing a really good job holding the lead, even though it actually looks like Tom Ward is a little bit faster, and cars catching up from behind as well. That's going to be really frustrating for Tom Ward, but if he can just get by Mark Mercer, I think he'll be pulling away with the lead here pretty quickly, as he's looking to get a run here through the corner, but Mercer's holding the perfect line, so there's no way for Ward to get by.
That's exactly what Mercer's trying to stop, is letting Tom Ward make a breakaway again as they come back down the start-finish line for what is the 9th lap. But as I was just saying to Hugo, feels like the 450th with this race. We're going round and round and round and round and round. Where we'll stop, nobody knows. But there's a very good chance it could be in one of the catch fences with the way this thing's going, as the top group here racing hard from the start, and well, it's broken up a bit in your top 10 here, Connery, as we've got the top 5 really together. All the way back there to Simon Edwards, Stuart McFadden, Bill Fraser, Tom Ward, Mark Mercer, but behind them, it's Ryan Walker, Peter Cowan, Paul Thurston up into the 8th spot. Matt Cox and Sarah Savage in 10th place. They're quite a bit further back. Behind them, though, Tomlinson, along with Woolett and McRitchie, having a good battle.
Yeah, the reason why we're seeing things spread out a little bit, as you said at the top of the broadcast, the draft effect here is pretty much the least of all the tracks that we go to. Not many long streets apart from the pit straight. Here comes the challenge for the race lead yet again. Tom Ward around the outside at Paddock Hill Bend this time. He's going to hold it there. Mercer has to fend on the inside. Maybe another cutback move for Ward, but no, he decides to stick with it. On the outside, cuts in front of Bill Fraser. Bill Fraser has to shoot onto the grass there, and is still potentially challenging for the race lead there. That was a lapse in concentration from your 5-time champion.
That was not a forcing Bill Fraser onto the grass. That was Bill Fraser forced onto the grass by Ward moving across him and hitting him there. As look at this one, McFadden gets past Tom Ward and up the inside comes Edwards. Could there be damage on Tom Ward's car? He has a bit of a scrape on his side pod. He could have some suspension damage. So he's hemorrhaging spots all of a sudden. Tom Ward. That is one of those moves we see from him quite often. He just moves. Everybody else, well, you best not be in the way. As the gap to Mercer there, quite huge here, and well, that's 3 cars now ahead of Tom Ward rather than just 1.
Yeah, it was just a complete lapse of judgment from Tom Ward there, and he'll have to struggle with that little bit of rear suspension. Now you see that rear wing of that Skip Barbara Formula 2000. It is all bent up, but luckily here the aerodynamics don't matter all that much. Those wings are pretty much there just for show at tracks like these. But as it is right now, Mark Mercer can just work on extending that gap at the front. He already has what looks to be almost a second advantage right now. So that just means that McFadden right behind him right now. McFadden second place. A good run for the wee Scotsman there. But if he wants another race win here, he's going to have to really go all out for it. He hasn't got much of a draft to help him to catch back up to Mercer. And he's also got the likes of Edwards, Ward and Fraser right on his tail.
Certainly makes things interesting, Linus, as we see there. He's going to have some real challenges to make up in this one, as lap traffic will come into play shortly. There is quite a few lap cars ahead of this group here, and we're on lap 12, so just less than halfway. There's plenty of time to go through even more traffic, and that will make this racing even more difficult. The track has now got a lot of opportunities to pass, and those other cars in this field will have to go somewhere.
Yeah, like you said, we're not even halfway through this race, and there's already lap traffic coming into play, and that could be a benefit for Mark Mercer, since he's alone to work his way through the traffic, whereas the other cars will come in a big group, and they might struggle as the lap car will probably slot in right in between some of them going around the turns. But we'll see what happens there, as we have a move for second place, and that is, I believe, Simon Edwards, who got a little bit optimistic and drops his spot down to Tom Ward, down into 4th place.
Certainly actually is, but well, up into the first corner now as the car's running very wide through the Graham Hill bend. On the side of the lap, that's lap traffic now to these guys as we'll come up towards Druids yet again, and Ward looking like he's about to be under attack by Edwards and Fraser, who both look to the inside here. Can Ward's damage hold him on the outside? He actually sustains that spot, so he might have the inside line here for Druids as the lap traffic just says, I'm getting straight out of the way, and pulls off the track. Edwards holds that spot. Fraser actually holds onto it too, alongside the car there. Oh, bit of a wheel tap between Fraser and Ward. Repaying him for the earlier contact. Oh, they slap again. And that was Ward saying, yeah, I know you're trying to reply to me for my hit earlier, but I'm not going to take it from you. As the tempers get a little higher. I told you to be fireworks, Linus.
Yeah, they're banging each other now like during touring cars, just like we saw a bit of last week, and that is going to cost Tom Ward the position here, as Bill Fraser is going to move up into 4th place.
It certainly is, of course, and Bill Fraser's doing his best here. He's ahead of Tom Ward, but Ward's not going to let that sit for too long. I don't think he wants to see an unsponsored tartan-covered car in front of his beautiful friction machine there for much longer. But Ryan Walker catching up from behind as well. He wants to be involved in this. He could definitely be a factor in the battle now. Tom Ward will have to contend with him in just a moment's time. McFadden is closing the gap slowly towards Mercer, but not enough. Mercer has about a 1 second gap still, so that's a huge one for him. Big break here.
Yeah, what Mark Mercer is doing at the moment, he's just managing the gap at the front there. It's been relatively stagnant, just going one way or the other over the last couple of laps, but they have a little bit of lap traffic ahead of them to deal with. They have to get past Charles Kellerman, and there's also Alex Greenland, Alan Patterson further down the road as well. That could be an issue by the end of this race. And Simon Edwards, number 27, gets a huge slide there, coming through Paddock Hill Bend. Fraser not close enough behind to capitalise those. They all go deep on the brakes into Druids. Absolutely nose-to-tail action for your final podium position here. Edwards having to put up a staunch defence to Bill Fraser in that number 34, coming through Graham Hill Bend now. And the runoff will go slightly to Fraser, but he's not going to dive it down the inside for Surtees, Clearways, or perhaps Clark Curver at the end of this lap. Is battling ahead of them between the two, with the actually getting past the lap cars there. That was Charles Kellyman just getting well out the way of the leaders. Will he get well out of the way for the battle for P number 3 though? Here comes Bill Fraser with the draft here. just sucks up to the back of that number 27 car. Towards the outside, they'll have to go. Paddock Hill Bend to wide time as Fraser tries to hang it around there, and he has to be very, very careful of the gravel. Here comes Tom Ward as well. Does Tom Ward make it through wide somewhere? No, he actually gets denied that chance, and Edwards and Fraser collide through the apex of Druids. Still too wide on the exit, so Edwards may have a little bit of damage here, but Tom Ward will follow his way through as well.
Does Bill Fraser going full touring cars here, as if everyone's going full touring car in your top 10 here. This is phenomenal racing amongst your top 10 cars, top 5 drivers here really, as yeah, they forget they're in open wheel race cars here and they're actually driving touring cars as the lap cars told to get out of the way there. That's the 37 machine. Charles Kellyman just informed you should be out of my way by Bill Fraser, as Ward looks to make a move here on Edwards. Will he get the chance?
Will he get the chance indeed, but Ward, just have to wonder how much of a beating that car has taken so far this race. He has multiple bits of contact, and any one of those bits of contact could severely damage the suspension on these cars. Deep on the brakes, he goes into Druids. Still no opportunity to get himself back past Simon Edwards here, and I'm just spotting like the driver's left front suspension there looks a little bit too bent for my liking there on these cars, so that could be the issue that Tom Ward is dealing with. Of course, he may have also have rear suspension behind as well as actually the lap car, severely damaged lap car. That's Gordon Ramsay, number 46. I'm trying to think of if I'm not getting one. Rachel, maybe you can think of one.
Gordon Ramsay's car having problems. Well, he's made a bit of a scramble out of this one.
Oh, God.
I had to. Sorry, come on. It's Monday Night Skippys. Back for a new year and a new season. You asked for a Gordon Ramsay pun. And, well, yoke's on you. Or him, technically. I am here all night. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of me. As Mark Mercer at the very sharp end here. His gap is looking more and more sustainable. 2.1 seconds now of Stu McFadden in second place. 2 seconds back to Bill Fraser in third. So podium looking likely for the Scotsman. If he can hold off Edwards and Ward and Walker and Thurston, who's now to 6th place. 7th place, sorry, for Paul Thurston. Cox, Cowan, Thompson, and yeah, in your top 10 there. Everyone running very, very wide towards the back of your top 10. As Linus, the group here from Fraser backwards is really looking at top power.
Yeah, it's been a good battle now. They've split up over the last lap here though, so might have a couple of laps of gathering their powers back up to make a big run for the top of the group in the last few laps. About half a second between each of the cars here. No real moves being made, but it looks like Bill Fraser might have something to work with here going into the turn, but no, keeps the car going. So nothing really happening up here so far. As we got side by side behind. For P, that was actually a lap car, so never mind. But side by side for P10.
Yeah, P10, that is, of course, Josh Thompson fighting with Peter Cowan, I think that is. It is indeed. Peter Cowan holding the front for now. Holding to 9th place. Matt Cox just ahead of them. Side by side yet again. And Connery.
That was so close between Thompson and Cowan there. A little bit of rear end contact from Josh Thompson to Peter Cowan. Of course, Josh Thompson, one of the Radicals online drivers, looking to get himself into the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Perhaps he's a little bit more used to more downforce and a bit more speed than what this car can offer, but he's doing relatively well inside the top 10. Has to go around the outside at Paddock Hill Bend because of the defensive line that Peter Cowan decided to take. Just goes a little bit deep on the brakes, tries to draw himself much more alongside, but he's going to push wide here out into the gravel, and he's going to come under threat from James McRitchie. McRitchie makes his way down towards the inside, has to go deep on the brakes, but can't go deep enough to defend that position, at least on entry, because of the car ahead of him. Here goes side by side up to Graham Hillbend now. Josh Thompson on the inside line will defend the position there, Richie.
Certainly will. McRitchie there in his number 25 machine, doing his best to try and hold on to these spots as Savage attacks from the rear there, and up front Josh Thompson trying to work his magic on Peter Cowan. Matt Cox didn't get a no man's land between the two groups there. There's about 3 seconds up ahead of him. That's Paul Thurston getting past Lapchar. Group ahead, tailed by Ryan Walker. Tom Ward goes up the inside there of Simon Edwards, the 27 car. Moves him up to the 4th spot. After Edwards made a bit of a mistake. Can Tom Ward work his magic back now on Bill Fraser in the 34 machine? He moves himself back up to at least a podium in this race. It should be possible. I don't think a win is even in his hands anymore, Linus. Lap 21 here, we have 7 more laps to go after this one, and this one, it seems second done for Mark Mercer.
Yeah, it's the win and second place here for Mercer and McFadden. It's in their own hands now. The only thing that can win that is pretty much a lap car getting too much in the way. So the highest battle we got here is for third place, currently held by Bill Fraser, as they're lapping 2 lap cars here at the same time. And again, going single file, Tom Ward is looked into the outside, but is nowhere near Fraser, so he's not going to have a chance to make up the position here unless he can get a run up into top of the hill. And it looks like he will move to the inside here, a bit late on the brakes. Actually, he's early on the brakes, and Edwards is on the outside, but still going to be all single file.
Yeah, some more touring car action back happening on track there as they're all pushing and shoving and bumping and banging. Must be the Brands Hatch influence, Connery, as these guys seem to really think they're actually sitting here in British touring cars.
Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely fantastic to see, but you know, with these guys at the moment, battle for number 3, they have a whole bunch of lap traffic up ahead. 3 cars, 4 cars more involved in that one, as that's the same amount of traffic that McFadden and Mercer are trying to make their way through at the moment. But Mercer's basically run away with this race at this stage. 3.3 seconds there is the gap at the front of the field. Tom Ward yet again attempting some sort of move over the number 34 of Bill Fraser. Takes that wide entry, tries to carry as much apex speed as possible, gets the run out of the corner, dive towards the inside for your 5-time champion. It's alongside the 34 there and just still can't make the move stick, and this just puts him on the outside of Graham Hillben now, and it's just a whole bunch of lap traffic. That could be a major issue here, could hold Fraser up, as Fraser has to go driver's right-hand side of Lewis Cannell there, as Wood tries to follow right underneath that gearbox of Fraser. He's not letting him get away, even through this thick traffic.
No, but that wasn't too big a disadvantage there for Bill Fraser. He holds on to the position he needs here on to lap 24. As here we go, Tom Ward, big advantage here in speed. Gonna go to the outside. Car ahead of them is Alan Patterson. A bit of 14 cars up ahead as Tom Ward to the outside for Paddock Hill. Can he carry the momentum around the outside? Struggling to once again. He holds his nose there. He gets a good run of speed up towards Druids Corner. Edwards towards the inside. Not going to take it, but... oh, yes. Tom Ward will hold the outside. Holds it round Druids. Inside for Graham Hill. Wheels will touch again. Inside for Graham Hill. And he looks like he has it there. Tom Ward. Although, inside is Bill Fraser. Can he hold Surtees now? No, he drops the position. Tom Ward takes third position back.
I was expecting just a little bit more contact between these guys. There's a huge slide through the corner there from Tom Ward and gives Bill Fraser another run here coming down the pit straight. Fraser will get that freebie. Here comes Simon Edwards as well. Driver's right-hand side of the track. Can you get a 2 for 1 coming down into Paddock Hill Bend? It's a big ask as they potentially go 3 wide down into here. Simon Edwards is going to back out of that one. Tom Ward trying to go around the outside of Fraser at Paddock Hill, but he's not going to get it. Put Bill Fraser back up into P number 3. Again, more traffic ahead.
Absolutely more traffic ahead. Incredible racing here from these guys on the track as they do exactly what they need to do in this race. Fantastic runs from all of them at this point, and wow, the racing has been truly phenomenal in this. Bill Fraser now trying to get past more lap traffic. Alan Patterson ahead there, and that was Kellyman as well. No, Lewis Cannell I think it was, or David Christie. Dave Christie it was, in fact, as he actually holds up Edwards a little bit there, and keep pushing now. Lap 25 into 26. What a battle we're seeing here. Mark Mercer still running around on his own. No problems for him. 4.3 second lead. McFadden has 3 seconds over Fraser. And Tom Ward right at the back end of Fraser. This is really the battle for this race. And we have everyone back to Ryan Walker involved in this one. Paul Thurston not too far away himself.
Here he goes.
Just going through Paddock Hill as they go into Druids. And Tom Ward made another attempt. And it was a stunted attempt by Ward, who I think once again decided to try and punt the back end of Bill Fraser. Looks like he was watching the LSR Battle of the Bull Ring yesterday, because he tried to go for the bump and run into Druids and failed at it miserably. As
it's again
once more tapping. These guys are absolutely going full NASCAR here at the Indy layout of Brands Hatch, and Tom Ward once again will drop that position. Again, tries to cut in there. He's being super aggressive. This is absolutely hilarious to watch, but a little scary, to be honest. This is going to be 3 wide now. Lap 27. 2 to go at this point. We're going to go use the NASCAR metrics here. 2 to go before we get our checkered flag in this one. And up into Druids they'll come yet again. Bill Fraser, inside line, holds the corner. Tom Ward throws everything at it on the outside. Does everything he can here. Can he hold the inside for Graham Hill? Nope, he's going to get the door closed by Bill Fraser. He's going to push Edwards wide. What racing we're seeing here. You do not want to stop watching this. This is absolutely incredible stuff. As up towards the final corner now. Round. Bill Fraser had Edwards as a cushion here against the banzai attempts of Tom Ward. Could Ward get a move done though? Could Edwards get a move on Fraser? This is hotting up. On to the final lap we go, and we're not going to talk about Mark Mercer other than the fact he's basically won this if he completes another lap. Same goes for Stuart McFadden. It is all eyes on the young Scotsman here, who is desperately holding off the orcish hordes behind him, because it's pretty ugly for what we can see in his rearview mirrors. And they are going for this one, hammer and tongue into Druids yet again. Lap traffic nearly caused a bit of a hop up there, but they get through with no major issues. Fraser holds on, should have it nice and successfully done. Through the final corner, Mark Mercer will come successful 28 laps later, and he will win this race. Fantastic driving from Mercer. Across the line he'll come. Stuart McFadden comes home with second place. Bill Fraser will hold on out of the final corner for third. Tom Ward in fourth place, and Simon Edwards in the fifth spot here at Brands Hatch. What a breathtaking race. I thought I was calling a horse race, ladies.
Yeah, that was really, really exciting, and the lap almost messed it up for them, but they navigated through it and had the battle all the way till the end. But well done there by Fraser to hold on to third place, and Tom Ward did everything he could, but it just wasn't enough this time.
Side by side, though, coming across the line in the last stages down your field, Jack Hobbs and Christian Novak will get themselves side by side across the line, but Novak will come out top of that one. So they have a little bit of instant down into turn number one, but still a couple of other drivers to kind of finish their races here. We're still waiting for the likes of a couple of laps down cars, and the fact that it's now everyone across the line as the 28 makes their way across. But that was a pretty insane race, but I think we did call it at the top of the broadcast there, Rachel.
We certainly did, and we're going to wrap this one fairly quickly tonight after just a couple of quick chats, but we'll go first through our post-race results. Coming home with a win today, Mark Mercer with a flag-to-flag festival of speed. He took the lead in lap 1, but he, of course, stayed there the whole race. Stuart McFadden in second place, Bill Fraser in third, Tom Ward and Simon Edwards your top 5, with Ryan Walker, Paul Thurston, Matt Cox, Josh Thompson and James McRitchie your top 10. Rest of those results up on your screen, and we will get a quick chance to chat to Ryan Walker, who came up today in the 6th spot. Ryan, that was a little busy from what we saw.
Yeah, it was a little hectic. Yeah, that was an awesome race. I enjoyed that.
That's where you were meant to carry on talking, but okay, I'll ask you another question real quick. Brands Hatch Indy, very fast track to race. How hard is lap traffic to deal with?
Yeah, it was very hard with regards to the traffic. I mean, when I was behind Tom, Bill and Simon, I think it was, when it came up to lapping traffic, I was kind of hesitating whether to try and get by the lap traffic as soon as possible, or just play the long game and just lap the traffic when it was safe to do so. And I decided to take the safe option, and yeah, it was hard to lap. It was hard to lap traffic, and it certainly made me sweat a little bit, that's for sure.
Certainly did. Well, fantastic result from you there, Ryan, and a great top 10 result. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Well, nobody else is turning up for interview today, so we're going to wrap things up for the night here at RaceSpotTV. Thank you for watching Monday Night Skippys. We'll see you again at the same time next week. I've been Rachel, joined by Connery and Linus. Thank you for watching, and good night.